everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Carter's Concepts. This is basically a series where I showcase how I do my work. Hopefully some of you are coming in from my Instagram or my Twitter. In case you missed it, I am now part of the team here at Jersey Nerds Media. And we're looking to do more than just our podcasts. So I figured it would be pretty fun if I could showcase how I do my work, the creative process I go through. This first episode you'll actually see is pretty simple compared to some other designs I've made. But there will be some more fun, unique stuff coming in the future. Basically going to talk through my ideas, and hopefully those of you that are potentially looking at getting into Jersey concepts or already do it can take something away, and if you're not looking to do it, well, hopefully you at least enjoy it. Watching these when they come out also means you get early access to the concept I make, like this Bruins one. If you're watching this within the first couple of days after uploading, you'll have seen it before anyone else, so congratulations. So yeah, for this one, I wanted to mix, this is part of my Origins series, by the way, where I'm mixing jerseys throughout history for every team / franchise / city, I guess. So for Boston, I knew pretty early on that I wanted to go B only, which I tend to gravitate towards when I'm making Bruins jerseys. And it's basically a brown swap of black. And the striping I use is very inspired by the 2019 to 2023 alternate jerseys based off the 1940s. But I also used elements from their Centennial uniforms, as you can see here, for the font. And I used the C&A font and the name font from the Centennials. And you'll see coming up that I use the regular Bruins font for the numbers as a good just little mix. For simple designs like this, it's nice because I could just move the template stripes down and around, and it really saves me a lot of time on these. It took me probably half an hour or so to make this specific mock-up, which is faster than most. Usually I'm averaging 45 minutes. So you can see here I'm adding, some people don't do it, but I tend to do it if it's between striping. I'll add a layer that matches the base color so you don't see the stitching. And then since I'm picky, I move it to kind of fit the general shape of the sleeve, which makes it easier for me to copy paste to the other side. I also want to add in that this template is made by Orion Taylor. He has a website and an Instagram account just under his name, Orion A. Taylor. Very nice. It's probably my favorite template I've ever used, and I've gone through a couple. However, it is only on Adobe Illustrator, so you may want to keep that in mind. So using these sets of fonts where they're not typable is something I've just started recently. Because of my work, I have access to pretty much every single proper NHL font, which is great. Shout out to my boss, Keener, for letting me use them for my concepts. So I have to manually resize them, angle them, and add the drop shadow. The drop shadow, some people kind of have asked me about it before. It's just to give it a bit of a stitched effect. No, it's not perfect, especially on white jerseys, but I feel like it just kind of gives that elevated look, so it doesn't look like it's a sublimated, flat, nothing jersey. with that line, I'm just making sure they're even. I mess up a couple times, but there's even. I also caught a bit of flack for it when I started, but I use the Fanatics logo now on all my concepts, and that's just because they're taking over, and I'm just sort of using it as envisioning Fanatics doing this, because Adidas isn't really going to be releasing any more jerseys this year aside from the All-Star Game and Winter Classic. So I have the jerseys on 2 separate artboards, which makes it super easy to just Control-C, Control-F, and that puts it perfectly centered so I don't have to do any realigning. The only real realigning I have to do is on the back numbers and the name bar. And sometimes I'm off, but nobody's really called me out on it yet, so I suppose I'm still doing alright. But if you guys do notice it, feel free to call me out on it, because sometimes I get lazy as a designer and that's not cool. So you can see here I'm struggling to get my letters. I could have just gone and selected the black ones, but in the moment I wasn't really thinking. I've been doing a lot more work on fonts and just typography in general. I've been really picky with kerning lately. So you'd see I actually go back and adjust the R again. And I noticed it was off. Give it a look from far. It's good. Decided to go brown for this one. Normally there'd be a lot more of like my creative thinking to talk about, but this is honestly just like a classic Bruins jersey. I did kind of similar to my Anaheim one. It's very kind of basic, classic inspired striping with the text made to bring it kind of more into the modern era. In this case, the name font is an exception to that, but the numbers still kind of help. And there's our finished result. I'll throw them up on the screen here for you now. My very fancy presentation, but I think it turned out nice. It's nothing super crazy, but it's a solid throwback style Bruins jersey, which is what I wanted to accomplish. Thank you guys very much for watching. See you next time.